I think as he starts to disappear, we're going to move on, start making our way towards the eastern boundary of Djuma and perhaps even across to Cheetah. How much time have we got? Oh, goodness. The morning has flown by. I was planning on getting to Cheetah Plains and I got completely distracted by all other things. But I think we will go and help them out for their search for the Styx Pride. And there's something I really want to show you. Now that I've got Rusty, and I can with the signal, I'm really hoping those white-faced owls are going to be in the same place. Because they have been for the last few days apparently, and I didn't have a signal the last time I tried, so that's definitely on my agenda to try and show you them. And just to finish off with our questions about monkeys, it's a pity we don't still have them, but they were playing very hard to get. Alita, you wanted to know, talking about sentries and monkeys keeping an eye out for any dangers, you wanted to know what predators will feed off monkeys or eat monkeys. And do they ever eat each other or feed off each other's bodies in the same way chimps occasionally do? So in terms of predators, there's lots out there. Snakes will target baby monkeys. Birds of prey, especially martial eagles, crowned eagles, the larger eagle species, absolutely will target monkeys. And of course baby monkeys are on the menu for even the smaller eagle species. And then cats. The medium-sized cats, the caracals and the servals will target them. Even an African wildcat might go for a baby monkey, although risks, because they're roughly the same weight as an adult monkey, runs the risk of incurring the wrath of the rest of the troop. So it's unusual, but it might happen. Birds of prey, what have I said? Cats, leopards as well. Now, leopards are very, very effective monkey hunters, and some of them actually specialize in it. The last time we saw Shadow with the kill, she was eating a monkey that she had caught. Karula's caught monkeys probably from that very troop, because they do have home ranges that she was eating in Philemon's dip, which is where we were with those monkeys. Now leopards will do it as well. In terms of whether or not they ever eat each other, I'm going to say rarely. I've never seen it. They are, of course, they can be omnivorous. They will eat meat. Their diet is mostly vegetarian, but they will eat meat. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it personally. But I wouldn't discard it as a possibility. They might nibble on a dead monkey if they found one. I think it would be very unusual if it does happen. It is a very creepy thought though. Baboons, on the other hand, have been known to eat monkeys occasionally. So not quite full-on species cannibalism, but close to. Kyle's made me chuckle with his question. Now, as you know, Brent named the wildebeest on Cheetah Plains. Brent named them names that I cannot, well, I can say Normal Norman. I'm quite okay with Normal Norman. But Brent named them names that I can't say, and Kyle wants to know why do the wildebeest of Djuma not have names? That's a very good point, Kyle, and I think you should ask Brent, because Brent has been responsible for naming the wildebeest on Cheetah Plains, and I think it's only fair that he should give the names to the wildebeest of Djuma as well. I think, Kyle, that Gnorman, or whatever on earth it is, Gnorman, I don't know why I can't say it. Gnormless Norman and Normal Norman have got names, and it's hugely unfair that the wildebeest on Djuma don't. So on that note, I'm going to send you over to Brent to find out what he thinks we should name the wildebeest of Djuma.
Saturday morning puzzles have me scratching my chin. So I've got tracks of a lioness moving at high speed. Now it's almost impossible, unless you know your tracks quite well, to say, can you get this one, Brian? Yeah. Now that is a lion. You can't see anything, but I can see she's going at it. And the reason and here again I can see it's a lion. I can just make out the back of the track. No cubs, so there's a possibility they've left the cubs in that block somewhere. So I had one track when I was walking earlier, the lion basically putting its head into an aardvark burrow. Oh dear, no, there's a tractor dragging. I need to get there before he does. He's cleaning the roads, but that means he cleans my tracks. No, tractor, stop, tractor. Oh, I don't think I'm going to make it. Oh dear. Bye, tracks. Happy guy waving, but well, at least we know any tracks that are on top of that are going to be exquisitely fresh. Oh dear.
Oh, they get.
Okay. It's very strange. It's going half in my ear, half out in the open sometimes. I have to speak to young Connor. Herbie. There's tracks of one sati and running through the Moati. I'm going to check up onto Leadwood, but that tractor has dragged Kariman, so if they've crossed, then Konzo is gone. Sorry guys. Copy, thanks. Yeah, then Konzo, I've got just one sati and she's running fast. So I'm going to check Leadwood quickly. Okay, so Herbie's further behind on the tracks when they've still got the cubs. So he's tracking from there. We're going to check up ahead in case they were definitely hunting from the tracks. They all split up, the ones that we had. So we only got tracks of a single lioness and a single, highly mobile single lioness. Now, lions can be incredibly mobile. They're 21 meters per second is a lion's top speed, which is about somewhere around just under 90 kilometers an hour. And they can't keep it up for very long, but for about 20 or 30 meters, they're at that incredible speed. Now, of course, that speed all depends on what they're hunting. Buffalo, they don't need the speed, but if it's kudu or waterbuck or any of those creatures, they do need that burst of speed. Now, since it's Olympics, I mean, you could, or I suppose not quite Usain Bolt, but not far off. Now, out of the big cats, the cheetah's the fastest, but it's also the long distance runner of the big cats. So a cheetah can keep up that incredible speed for much longer. It also takes them a bit longer to get to that speed. Their muscles are not those sort of powerful, bunched ambush muscles of a lion or leopard, but on the short distance sprinting, the leopard is the Usain Bolt of the animal world at 24 meters per second. Hello, Boyd in North Carolina. He says, on the subject of Olympics, what mammal would be the best Olympic swimmer? Well, I'm going to have to go out on a limb and say dolphins here. No, I assume you're talking about animals we might find in the Sabi Sands. The otter, the Cape clawless otter, would be the best bush swimmer. Mammalian, that is, of course. There's some very good swimming mammals. A water mongoose is quite a good swimmer. manatees, dolphins, whales. I think overall the sprinter of sprinters when it comes to mammalian swimmers is definitely the gold medal winner would be the dolphin, and I'm trying to remember which dolphin's the fastest. I think it's the Atlantic humpback, but I might be incorrect. The Atlantic humpback dolphin, of course, not a humpbacked whale. Okay, I got no tracks. Now, if that hunt was unsuccessful, they might have gone back down. I'm just going to check up to this corner. If I get no tracks here, I'm going to head back to the Mawati. And when it comes to long distance, that's an interesting one. The long distance walk Olympic champion would probably be the elephant. The elephant, yes. The sprinting antelope would be the fastest sprinting antelope in southern Africa is, I'm not going to tell you, you're going to tell me. So who knows what the fastest sprinting antelope is in southern Africa? If you know the answer, pop me an email, questions at WildEarthTV, or use the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter. What is the fastest sprinting antelope in southern Africa? Brian, do you have an inkling? Maybe. Rebecca, do you have an inkling? Not even a clue. There we go. But I know. Okay, so let's head back down to the Mawati River. See if we have any luck on those tracks. It's nice and reassuring to know Herbie's on them from further back. So it gives us free rein to wander on a longer leash while we're tracking. Oh. What's... And it sounds like there's been a leopard discovered in Buffalo's Hook. I'm not sure which one it is, so I'll find out. So, just so we know. Tax. Taxi, which Ingwe is that there? Ah, there we go. Copy, thanks very much. Mr. Q, Quarantine, the male leopard, a firm favourite of all of ours. He has moved through Torchwood into Buffalo's Hook. But unfortunately, he's still quite far east of our eastern boundary. Okay. Hi, Shamsung. Shamsung says, otters! I love otters! Is it even possible to see an otter here on Djuma? It is possible, but definitely not at the moment with the drought. I've seen quite a few otters, probably about 10 kilometers from here in the Sand River. But there is always a possibility that they do move if there's lots of water around to the different water holes. It is a possibility, but I think while we are experiencing the worst drought since 1992, we're probably not going to see too many aquatic mammals, apart from the poor hippo stuck in the mud at Arathusa. So we've got a few guesses in for the fastest antelope in southern Africa. It is not a springbok and it is not an impala. It's actually quite a difficult one, so I'm quite chuffed. I think it's going to get your grey matter churning and burning. I think there's going to be some steam off the brands this morning trying to figure out who is the fastest antelope in southern Africa. Oh, say, not so much steam. James, Richard and Gail, you are spot on. It is indeed the Sesame antelope, part of the hartebeest family, is the fastest antelope in southern Africa. Okay, this is where we had that one set of tracks bolting. But the others could be close by, and if it's been an unsuccessful hunt, she might have moved back and gone back to where the cubs were. So there's one track going. Ooh, hello. There's another Lioness track running here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Shamson's wondering why on earth they would grade the road during the day. Well, we definitely don't want to do it at night, but it's just one of those things that they have a schedule on road maintenance, and sometimes it just happens to be during game drive time, and you'll probably find you can't really discredit the poor man because he's got about 30 kilometers of that road to do. So if he didn't do it during the day, or if he didn't do it starting early in the morning, he'd be at it all day. And of course it is Saturday, so you can't expect him to work all weekend. So it's just that two sets of tracks crossing. No sign of the cubs, so I'm going to check very carefully up here. Now the go-away birds were making an incredible racket around this area earlier. We couldn't see anything then, but maybe our luck will change now. And we're driving under some beautiful jackalberries. One up ahead is in fruit, so many birds taking advantage. Let's check the one big game path up ahead. No sign of the Ryons crossing. The conundrum continues. Hopefully Herbie, who's teamed up with William Aubrey's tracker, are having more luck than us. I had tracks on a termite mound just in here of just a single lioness. Siberia is making a bird request for a 3-banded plover or a dikop. Another name for a dikop is of course a thick-knee. We will keep our eyes open, but at the moment we're not really working in an area that's got water, and both those birds are generally found around water, and the thick-knee or dikop's generally found at night, so quite a difficult one, but if we spot one we shall certainly show it for you, Siberia. Where have the lions gone? That big male is still fast asleep in the same place, so while he's snoozing, well, let's try find his consorts. let's try the listening game for a second. What we're hoping to hear is a bark, a snort, or a snarl. Unfortunately, all we hear is just our feathered friends. Okay, we'll move on. Just a few birds calling. So while we continue our tracking endeavor of the Styx pride, I wonder where in the world Jamie is.
I'm helping with the endeavor of the tracking of the Styx pride, or at least I'm just bumped into Herbert, who is convinced that the Styx are still somewhere on Djuma, that they haven't crossed, and they definitely haven't crossed south from what we can see. Now, they're somewhere here, hidden away. I'm on the boundary between Djuma and Torchwood, double checking to see if perhaps they didn't come east from where their last tracks were seen. It doesn't look like they did, though. And while Brent was in the Mulwati, looking at tracks and looking to see whether or not they crossed, I'm not sure if he picked up on the fact that the lions are still roaring up a little bit to the north of us. It sounded to me, but I mean, so far away, I wouldn't be able to absolutely confirm it, but it sounded like females to me. And perhaps the Nkuhumas might not be terribly impressed with the presence of the Styx if the Styx push too far north into their territory. Generally, female lions are relatively relaxed. They keep out of each other's way. It's not like males defending a territory where they will actively seek out any intruding males and dispose of them one way or another, whether they kill them or they chase them away. Either way, they actively patrol and keep their territorial boundaries very solid, whereas the females, it's malleable. But when young cubs come into the picture, things become a little bit different, and the Styx are very, very unlike, or vice versa, the Nkuhuma is very unlikely to seek out and kill the cubs of another pride. But generally, females with babies are a little bit more nervous than they might otherwise be. Now I've got a debate in my head. And while we go off in search of the lions, Amber wants to know which of our big cats is the hardest to track. Amber, without a doubt, in my mind, leopards are the hardest one. We're not counting the little cats, so something like a serval or a caracal. Definitely not. It would definitely be very difficult to be able to track down either serval or caracal. But leopards, in terms of our big cats, leopards are by far the most difficult. They walk with a very light step. They walk in an unpredictable manner. They bob and they weave far more than lions or cheetah do. Cheetah tend to walk a relatively straight line, and they quite often use regular pathways. The difficulty, I think, where the main difficulty lies with cheetah, where perhaps it might be a bit of a grey area, is the fact that they are not necessarily relaxed on foot. So the leopards of the Sabi Sand are famous. They've grown up with vehicles around them. They've become very, very used to the presence of people on foot tracking them and looking for them. And some cheetah, like the two boys that we see on Cheetah Plains, they are far more accustomed to being tracked on foot, so they're used to it and they're relaxed. And cheetah do habituate very quickly. But because they've got such enormous home ranges, you often get cheetah coming in from areas where they haven't seen people before. They've never met people on foot, and they have a tendency, like that skittish male that sometimes comes through here, they have a tendency to then go racing away. It was one of the wonderful things about an area that I worked in. It was a reserve that had very few tourists coming through it and very few vehicles operating on it. It was basically somebody's pet project. A wealthy landowner with a game reserve that he hardly ever visited himself or had anybody come to visit. And what that meant, particularly in that area, it's up in a place near a place called Alldays, which is it was very rural, and you would drive around, and if you saw a cheetah or a leopard, you knew that they were absolutely wild. They may never have encountered people before, or if they had, it was at a long distance. And it happened to me once where I just came upon a female cheetah and her sub-adult cub. It's the one and only time I've ever been charged by a cheetah. And it's such a disconcerting experience because you're not quite sure. They're not a threat to people, and they're not overtly aggressive creatures at all. But they sort of do this straight-legged bounce forward. And they attempt these intimidating growls, but when you've been growled at by a leopard or a lion, it doesn't quite hack it. Awesome experience though. Really, really interesting to witness. They hiss and spit more than the Harley Davidson sound of a lion come tearing out of the bush at you. And then I once, also with cheetah, but it was the weirdest combination of cheetah I've ever seen. Because usually you can get coalitions of male cheetah, up to 7, even 8 individuals have been recorded. But the females are generally solitary unless they've got cubs. In this case, it was a female, 1 sub-adult cub, and 2 males, and then 1 other cheetah. I couldn't have told you what it was. It was such a difficult sighting. But I managed to belly crawl behind a tree, and they were hunting impala around me. And you could hear them contact calling to each other, chirp, chirp. And it goes hands down, that is my best ever cheetah sighting. And I've had some amazing cheetah sightings, but that one was just, because they were so wild, it was absolutely incredible. But here, leopards are the hardest to track. And wild dog. I know it's not a big cat, but wild dog are really difficult to track because they're so fast. You don't really do so much in the way of tracking as racing after them and hoping that you've predicted the direction that they've gone in. Where are all the animals hiding? Away from all of the lions, I imagine. I just want to check this boundary very carefully. The Styx haven't come across, which means that they are almost certainly still around the Twin Dams area, which takes us back to a year ago. And yes, as I said, it takes it back to a year ago when we had the Styx cubs. The very first sighting of the Styx cubs was at Twin Dams itself. I know, because it was my job interview. And Scott found them when he was out on tracking team. We're so incredibly fortunate to have as many lions as we do wandering about the place. And that is the answer to... Over to Brent, let's see what he's got.
A lioness just chased an inyala right in front of us. I'm trying to keep up with her now. Hold on. Where did they go, Brian? Did you see? Somewhere in here. She just came. We saw the inyala. I was like, oh, look, pretty inyala. And then all of a sudden, this lion just shot in front of us. Let's just listen to see if she's caught it. Where did she go? Now, it's actually quite funny, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do a playback, But I was actually sitting on the bonnet driving down there when the lion ran out in front of us. And Herbie's found the rest of the pride as we found that. Yeah, Herbie, we just had one sati chasing in Nyala through the Moati towards Spaghetti Junction. Okay, we're going to keep that. Copy, thanks. I'm going to just try to find this one sati. She just chased Inyala through the Moati in front of us. Okay, so that Inyala didn't even have a chance to alarm call. Okay, I can't hear if she's caught it. Okay, let's speed around. Okay, so she would have come through here. If she didn't catch that Inyala, she might be walking back towards where the cubs are. We're very close to where Herbie is with the cubs. Where could you have gone, Lioness? Let's just listen again. Doesn't sound like she was successful. So let's make our way towards where Herbie is. Maybe we'll find her on her way back. So I only saw one lioness, and she was not far behind that Inyala. Cubs or kill. Cubs or kill. Let's try kill for a little bit longer. Maybe make my way towards you. I'm just going to do one last check for that one site here. I don't think they managed to catch the Inyala. So unfortunately, there isn't a recording of me scrambling over the bonnet in a blind panic to try and get into the driver's seat. So this is where it all went down, through here. Okay, so she came down off this bank and crossed, I reckon, right here. Now, there's none of the normal sounds you would associate with a kill. Just going to listen one more time. No thrashing about, no bleating from the Inyala. So I think there's Inyala that got off lucky this time. Okay, so if she isn't successful, it is getting warm. She might either lie down or head towards the cubs. So we're going to do that. We're probably about 2-3 minutes away from where the cubs are. So if we can't find her, what I'm hoping is she moves back to the cubs and we get to see that wonderful greeting when a lioness gets back from either an unsuccessful or successful. As we know, those little Styx guys are absolutely special. Not the best looking lion cubs, but they are very active lion cubs. I'm still keeping my head on a swivel, trying to see where the lionesses are. Ah, I see Herbie. Oh, I see cubs running. Lots of them. What are you running from, little Ease? One female is here. How's it, Will? How's it, Herb? Thanks, guys. So there's a female calling there. So I was in low range. I was sitting on top of the bonnet, and Gala chased the Nyala right in front of him. So there's a female calling the cubs. They're all jogging down there. So we're going to try and find a spot to keep up with them. Oh, they're sprinting toward. So let's try and keep up with them. Hold on, hold on. Of course, they are choosing an interesting off-roading experience. I've got the female. I'm just trying to think which is going to be the best way. Looks like they're going to come down into the Mawati River. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Let's get there. Sorry, Brian. There we go. Oh, there's the lioness that missed as well. So there's the lioness that missed the Nyala. Greeting. Hello. Okay, let's get a bit closer. Go. Oh, I love the noise they make. Now, this is the first time these cubs have ever been to Djuma. The last time the Styx brought cubs onto Djuma, a very sad thing happened in the... Oh, look at that. Can you see that, Brian? Direct? Oh, no, I need to forward. I don't know if the lions have seen it, but it's running away. There's a Steenbok that saw them. Yeah. I think they look like they might settle down. There's a bit of shade up ahead. Ow. looking quite hungry.
Oh,
This radio is...
Aubrey for you on, Mange.
Females and the cubs. There's one female still behind us somewhere. I must say, I do have a particular soft spot for the Styx cubs. Oh, hello. Look at, hello. He's coming round to have a look at us. There we go. The three of the smallest ones have started suckling. I do need to be on the radio for a second. Aubrey. Orbs, from where, that you're on Mumba Road, from where you are now, come straight south on that elephant path. They're in that open area just to the east of the Moati. Djuma Fuzzy and all the Mumpimpan. Look at this, he's right in front of us. So close. Came to inspect. Look at that. So, the first time Styx cubs have ever been seen on Djuma. Standing by, Mark. Mark, come onto Mumba Road, and basically just after you come out of the drainage system, there's a large elephant path that heads south. We're out in the clearings to the east of the Moati, but you can't access from the Moati. The bank's too steep. You have to come from Mumba. Look at that. And from Herbie, you come straight south. She's getting annoyed with all the sharp little teeth biting. Oh, there we go. Isn't that just too special? I'm just keeping quiet so you guys can hear all the noises the cubs are making. Looks like they're on the move again. Sorry, it looked like I pulled out my earpiece in my rush to keep up with the lions. It's back now. Oh, Jamie's got an incredible little creature she's been searching for. We're going to stick with the lions, but we'll be back shortly.
Yay! We've got our owls to show you. I've been trying to get these guys on camera for what feels like forever. In reality, it's only been a couple of days where we had them, but we didn't have any signal here on Buffelshoek. This owl is in exactly the same position as when I last saw him, looking very grumpy. with those false ear tufts sticking out of his head and desperately trying to weather the wind. Look at them, aren't they just well, this one, isn't it absolutely beautiful? They are so stunning. This is definitely one to add to your bird list. A white-faced owl, not one that we see all that often. A very, very strange-looking creature. There's actually two of them that are on this thing. Look at this. Oh, this camera provides us with such awesome views. From the talons to the streaks down the chest. Aren't they just beautiful? And like all owls, somehow manage to look incredibly disapproving. They really do have such disapproving faces. Can you see the second one there, Jandre, from where you are? You can. Awesome. I just want to show you the second one. They're sitting in exactly the same spot. Look at that. Do you see what I was saying the other day when I said they look like caricatures of owls? Or like sort of artistic impressions. He's tall and skinny, this one is. Like the sort of owl that you would see painted on the side of a mug, with those absurd tufts of feathers that are false ears. It's absolutely awesome. So cool. Well, I didn't want to take you away from those lion cubs for too long, but I did just want to show you the triumph of the owl search. And the fact that we've finally been successful, and we should hopefully be able to watch these owls in future. But with that, let's head back over to Brent.
So, just listen to the noises these guys make. They are just too funny. And they're right in front of the car. Just going to wait for the little cubs right in front of us to move a little bit further away before I move the car. Don't want to give them a fright. Okay. This little guy here, he did it the last time I saw him as well. He's a wheel watcher. So as the wheel goes round and round, certain lion cubs seem to be more fascinated than others. And you can see he's just watching the wheels. Okay, let's go around, back on the move. Heading back towards where we saw Herbie with a single lioness. Station Zingala, mobile north again, back towards Mamba. As you can see the large torchwood tree to the south of Mamba, they're heading straight towards that torchwood. Okay, isn't this wonderful Saturday Catterday, living up to what is it we come to expect from Saturdays in the bush. Okay. So Gregory, you're correct. I started telling a sad story about the last time the Styx Pride brought cubs onto Djuma. It was, when was it, about June or July last year. They had 3 little cubs, and what happened was that the Birmingham boys were busy taking over from the Matimba males, and they killed those cubs. Of course, there's more than likely that these cubs are fathered by Birminghams, so they're safe The biggest threat to these cubs about being in this area is actually the Nkahuma females. Well, all 3 lionesses are here now. Now, Paige in Tennessee was wondering whether the Nkahumas would be a threat to the Styx. They would, as much as male lions fight with other male lions, and even though the Birminghams are dominant over both the prides, female lions will defend their territory against other female lions. And I think they're probably going to settle in this area for the day. Having a quick drink. Oh, wonderful for this sunset safari. There are going to be lions all about, males and females and babies. Oh, this is going to get fun. Start arguing over who gets to suckle where. See how their ears go flat when they're feeding, just as if they were feasting on an nyala or a kudu. Now, these girls are very hungry. I think they're definitely going to hunt again on the sunset safari. How's it, Abel? There we go. Oh, thirsty little guys. Now, as I said, the females look quite hungry, and we did see one chasing an nyala earlier. Oh. There we go. Others are moving up from where the other lioness is sleeping in the shade. Are they going to join the feast battle, or they're just going to come lie about? Oh, I think there could be an attempt to get inside that scrum. There we go. Brenda is saying it seems like the Styx lionesses are more mobile in the warmer part of the day. Or is it just perception? I think it's perception. It just happens to be when we find them towards the end of drive and they are mobile. But as I said, I think they're going to go flat cat for now, unless something happens to stumble into them during the day. She's starting to snarl. Lots of sharp little needle-like teeth attached to her belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one just looking for a hug. There we go. Got it. You got it. Got its hug. So Dory's wondering why all the cubs are going and trying to feed or play with the one female. Aren't there others who have cubs also lactating? Well, that is true, Dory. Lions do practice allo suckling, so they will suckle another pride member's cubs. But I think in this case, it's my cousin or my brother is there, so that must be the one I want. So competition, and of course that'll carry on when they get older into feeding at the kills as well. And all these little growls and snarls we're hearing from the cubs are going to become deeper and more meaningful when they are feeding off a carcass and they're a bit older. One thing we can say about lions is they don't have any personal space boundaries. I'm just going to move forward a little bit so the other vehicle behind us can also move forward and get a nice view. Oh. Oh, no, not going to get involved. I think Mom might be getting a bit tired of it. She does have that sort of disgruntled mother look about her at the moment. Oh, these children. Oh. I think possibly the way the directors feel about the presenters from time to time. But of course, us presenters are as petulant as the lion cubs. So we don't even notice when they give us those looks. Now Geraldine's just taken it too far. Now she's just being rude. She says we look scratchy and itchy like the lion cubs as well. I think we're going to have to organise a non-venomous snake in Geraldine's bed at some point this summer. It's definitely been a lion day today. Started off with that beautiful big male lion walking through the golden sunrise, and what a way to end off with lions. And noisy, little bit mangy, but definitely full of character, and the Styx and cubs. So you could almost, if we had to draw a comparison, you could almost say that the Nkuhuma cubs are the sort of picture-perfect postcard lion cubs from the right side of the tracks. The Styx cubs look like they might be from the wrong side of the tracks. Now, I'm pretty sure what's happened with this, it could be a form of mange. It might just be a fungal infection, but they've definitely picked it up from the Birmingham boys. And the Birmingham boys have spent a lot more time with the Styx cubs than they have with the Nkuhuma cubs. Now, hopefully, the Birmingham boys are beyond their manginess and they don't spread it to our postcard lion cubs. So I noticed that the Styx females also have it along their belly, and as I said, from the Birmingham boys, and I think that's passed on to the cubs. But apart from just looking a little bit scruffy, they seem to be in good condition and playful and noisy, and there's no obvious signs that they are very, very ill. I think it's just more of an irritation. Mom's not had it. Enough of this nonsense. Don't even let go when Mom stands up. Now Kieran's wondering, is this the group of cubs where the one's got a sore leg? No, it's not. This is a different pride, Kieran. This is the Styx pride, and the one with the sore leg is in the Nkuhuma pride. So the females don't want to suckle because they're very hungry, so there might not be that much milk there. They've actually moved closer to us. Isn't this incredible? You can hear that deeper growl from the lioness. I'm just going to keep really quiet so you can hear these incredible sounds. Isn't this amazing? It's just the most incredible sounds. Oh, it's getting a bit more serious. Oh, look at that. Sometimes it's much better than to talk. Just let the animals do the talking for you. Now, remember, you can ask questions about what's going on. You can do that by using the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or pop me an email, questions@wildearth.tv. But for now, I'm going to let the lions do the talking for me. Oh, here we go again. So Joanne's wondering how they're all able to feed. There's not enough teats. Some of them are just lying there and irritating their siblings or cousins. The deep growling, those are the ones feeding. And as soon as another one tries to push in, like that's happening right now, it's trying to force the hand. Can't get its head in. Wow. So there we go, we got a couple just sleeping off to the side there. Oof, sounds like it's heating up. at the kill again, or when I say the kill, I'm heating up at mom's tummy. Isn't this absolutely spectacular? So Tobias is wondering, is it possible that the mother of the older cubs has stopped lactating, and that's why they've all gone to this lioness? Probably not. She is definitely still lactating. They might have been feeding off her earlier. Oh, there we go, getting stuck in again. They might have been feeding off her earlier, which is, and she might have run out of milk, so that's maybe why they're feeding on the other lioness. Well, you know, Mom taking the opportunity to give one a good cleaning. Look at the other one, it's fast asleep. I know he's getting stuck in now. Wow. No, I think out of the animals out in the bush, lionesses have the most motherly patience to deal with a scrum of little ones all feeding at the same time. And also those milk teeth are as sharp as hypodermic needles. It's one of those sounds you think you get tired of, but it's something I never get tired of. The sound of little lion cubs growling at each other. So that little one's trying a different tactic. Instead of forcing it in, it's just sort of like, hi, I'm just gonna like squeeze in here quickly. No. My turn, Sorry. That little one's got determination. Just keeps sneaking, pushing. And Mom's gonna get over it quickly. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at the light in her eyes. Mom's saying, enough now, you little hooligans. Okay, well, Mom finds a different spot to lie down. Let's go see what Jamie's up to.
For the very first time in a few days, Hyena Road has disappointed us. There's absolutely nothing happening on Hyena Road, which is not something we could have said over the last few days, where we've had lions galore. Jandre says there's some water back to show you. Far away. So there is something happening on Hyena Road. It's just, yeah, got it? It's just some water back, very far away. Very well spotted, Jandre. And an impala. as well. Okay. Yes, definitely. I say today that the white-faced owls were by far the highlight of my drive. Because otherwise, nothing really has gone exactly according to plan, which is just the way of things out here. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes you get an extraordinary surprise, and other times you get some waterbuck very far away behind some trees. It's just the way of things out here. It's quite alright, Gendre, it's not your fault. You tried. Gendre tried valiantly in that particular regard, but unfortunately... Yeah, perhaps that's exactly what Gendre should do. He should be mean to Hyena Road again. Because that's how we got well, that's when we got the lion hunt. On Saturday. Oh, that was a week ago already. Time flies when you're having fun out here in the African bush. There's a very, very large pothole here. Very large. Everybody hold on, we're about to go. Oh! And now we're through the pothole, and it's time. That mud smells terrible. Oh my word. Oh! It's horrifying. It smells like sulfur. It smells like rotten egg. Anyway, on that beautiful note, it's time for us to say goodbye. You got that, Gendre? Oh my word. It is time for us to say goodbye. So a big thank you to Gendre for all of his wonderful camera work, as well as to Jerry and Kirsty in Final Control. I keep getting a whiff of it. I'm trying not to gag, which is, you must know it's bad for me to be in that situation. Big thank you to all of you for joining us. I'm sorry to end off on such a pungent note. I hope you have a marvelous day or evening further and enjoy the beginnings of the Olympic Games, and we will catch up with you in just a few hours on this afternoon's sunset safari. Bye bye everybody.
So all those cubs have moved into the shade. We're going to do the same. We're just going to try reposition to get a good view. We've got the two lionesses here, and the cubs have gone to feed off their other lactating female. So let's go have a look. Short, we're easier. We can move around in this car quite easily. There we go. So what a cat day it's been so far. We've had a big male Birmingham, and now Styx, all their little bundles of scraggly joy. There we go. Not quite as growly. Less cubs trying to feed at the same time. So Anna-Marie is wondering, will the manginess ever go away on these cubs? I think it might. And we've watched the Birminghams and the Styx Lionesses. They go through bouts of serious manginess and then they look a bit better. I think it probably will go away. And as I said, it doesn't, if it's proper sarcoptic mange, you see a really big dip in condition as well, which we're not seeing here. They just don't look so nice. Don't look as fluffy and as pretty as the Nkumas. Just to move it forward again a little bit. We've added a few more extras into there. Oof, Mom is not impressed. Oh, get off me, you little horrors. You can see she's hungry. You can see that there's that hollow in the stomach there. So hopefully they'll catch something this evening, because they need to get a meal to produce milk for these little monsters. think. Oh. Look at that. Sorry, I'm just trying to have a look in the monitor. The sun's making my life a little bit difficult. There we go. So, because they're so hungry, there is a possibility they might move during the day. Hopefully not. Hopefully they wait for us to arrive on sunset safari to start hunting. Now that particular one on the right there, I think he looks like the naughtiest. I think one of the little ones is my favorite. There's one that just looks so much worse than the others. I'm just trying to look for it now. Got the most damage to its ears, got bald spots on its elbows. There's that one, yes, there we go. I don't know, there's something very appealing about the scruffiness of that one. I think that's my favorite. Bye-bye, Scruffy. But what a wonderful sunrise safari. It's been full of the lions of the northern Sabi Sands. Unfortunately, no Nkahumas, but lots of Styx and a single Birmingham. So from the killer bees who just keep producing, it's been wonderful having you. I think we need a little killer bee. There we go, killer bees. It's been wonderful having you on the drive, but I'm sure you're tired of looking at my face, so let's look at the cubs for the last few seconds. See you in a short few hours.